Hello, welcome to Divine Motivation, where we delve into the depths of Indian culture and spirituality. Our channel is inspired by the priceless teachings of various deities, starting with the divine stories of Lord Krishna from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Join us on the spiritual journey and draw inspiration from the sacred teachings and life lessons that guide us toward a motivated and meaningful life. Let's embrace this divine journey together and gain strength from the inspiration of God. Jaya Shri Krishna Jaya Shankar. In the last video we have listened about story of Sati who attended her father's organized yajna and got ready to enter into the fire of yajna after feeling insult about her husband, Lord Shiva. Now let's move further. Immediately, Sati entered a deep yogic state. Focusing her mind with great intensity, she ignited her own body in flames, while cries of sorrow echoed all around. Sati's attendants, enraged, attempted to kill Daksha, but the sage Bhrigu, who was the chief priest of the sacrifice, quickly made offerings in the sacrificial fire, summoning troops to protect the ceremony. The summoned troops swiftly drove away Sati's attendants. Meanwhile, Narada hurried to inform Shiva of all that had transpired. Enraged, Shiva pulled a hair from his head and threw it on the ground. From that hair, a fierce warrior named Virabhadra emerged. Humbly, Virabhadra asked Shiva, "What can I do for you?" Shiva commanded, "Go and destroy Daksha and his sacrifice." With a mighty roar, Virabhadra departed, accompanied by Shiva's followers. Virabhadra reached the sacrificial site and, with the help of Shiva's companions, decapitated Daksha and offered his head into the sacrificial fire. The Devas, gods, were also attacked and, terrified, they fled to Brahma for protection. Brahma, along with the Devas, then went to Kailasha to meet Shiva. To calm him, they sang hymns of praise. Mahadeva, known for his forgiving nature, was pacified. He declared that Daksha would be revived but with the head of a goat, and the Devas and others who had been injured would have their limbs restored. The Devas then requested Shiva to come to the sacrificial grounds and bring Daksha back to life. Through Shiva's benevolent gaze, Daksha was revived. Upon awakening, the first thing Daksha saw with his goat head was Shiva standing before him. This time, Daksha's mind had been purified, and he sang hymns in praise of Shiva. The sacrifice resumed, and everything proceeded smoothly. When the priests meditated on Hari, Lord Vishnu himself appeared, riding on the great bird Garuda. All those present prostrated before him and sang his praises. The Lord said, "Know that I am both Brahma and Shiva. One who understands that we three are one and permeate all beings attains eternal peace." After this, Mahadeva received his share of the offerings, and Sati was reborn as the daughter of Himavan and Menaka. She was named Uma, or Durga, and was once again married to Shiva. The story of Daruva. Swayambhuva Manu, a son of Brahma and a part of Hari, Lord Vishnu, had two sons, Uttanapada and Priyavrata, with his wife Shatarupa. When Uttanapada grew up, he became king and had two queens, Suruchi and Suniti. Suruchi's son was named Uttama, while Suniti's son was Daruva. The king favored Suruchi over Suniti, often placing Uttama on his lap. One day, as King Uttanapada sat on his throne, Daruva approached and tried to sit on his father's lap. However, Suruchi, his stepmother, forbade him, saying, "You are Suniti's son. You have no right to sit on the king's lap. If you desire this privilege, you must be born as my son. Pray to Lord Hari and practice spiritual disciplines, and perhaps it will happen in another life." Heartbroken, Daruva burst into tears and ran to his mother, who was also overcome with grief. She consoled him, saying, "My dear son, do not cry and do not harbor ill feelings toward your stepmother. Those who cause others pain will themselves suffer. Though your stepmother spoke harshly, she was right. The king does not care for me. Suruchi advised you to worship Sri Hari with unwavering devotion, and she was correct. There is no other way to win the king's favor. Even Brahma attained his position through worshipping Hari's lotus feet. The rishis, sages, meditate on those same lotus feet. Offer your heart to the lotus-eyed Sri Hari. Only he can alleviate your sorrow." Daruva placed complete faith in his mother's words. Without delay, he set out for the forest, leaving the kingdom far behind. On his way, Daruva encountered Narada, the sage who was always close to God's sincere devotees. When Dhruva explained his plan, Narada said, "My dear Dhruva, you are just a child, yet you are setting out to perform tapasya, intense spiritual disciplines. Tapasya is incredibly challenging, and realizing God is even more difficult. Even great sages who have practiced intense austerities do not always succeed. So, dear child, surrender to the Lord's will and accept whatever He ordains. In time, you will gain knowledge." But Dhruva remained resolute, replying, "My stepmother has insulted me deeply. My mind is restless, and my heart is troubled. In this state, your words do not ease my pain. O great Rishi, you are a descendant of Lord Brahma himself. Please guide me on the path to realizing God." Thanks for watching this video. Next part of story will be covered in next video. Thank you for watching Divine Motivation. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. To stay connected with us, press the bell icon and get updates on new videos. Your suggestions and feedback are welcome. Jaya Shri Krishna Jaya Shankar.